Alrighty, let's get started. Do 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 do.
We are now in orbit above Byzantium, Captain.
Probably should dump some weapons. Oh, you'll need to solve Halcyon Helen's murder. I already figured it out.
You might want to consider changing your clothes more often.
I refuse. Off we go. Probably should have fast traveled to where I needed to go first, I guess. Alright, where do I need to go? It's the one that's gonna get me killed.
Keep it quiet, Captain. Captain, I stand out here like a big, greasy thumb.
Do we really need all this security? I have to go
Welcome
through
to
3
the
checkpoints
official
just to take
headquarters of the
coffee.
Halcyon Holdings
Can't be too
Corporation
careful.
Board.
This
Today's
is like
greeting
Phineas
is brought
Wells
to you
was-
by Auntie Cleo, a subsidiary.
So what if those MSI suits made it on Monarch? I can do it. Easy. Stay here. Please step away. Huh. I didn't realize we were still using those iridescent. I'll just need you to register your weapons with a revised request. Now let's see.
I can wait.
I was going to suggest that myself. Look, you don't have time to wait on new forms, and I can't afford the citations for impeding HAC business. So I'm going to save us both some trouble and waive your forms. Just know there are a bunch of guards upstairs, and they're all high on dervish mist and low on patience. So
Well, we got in. Main problem is gonna be how do we get out?
Excuse me, just a moment. I beg your pardon. Minister Clark's former office is...
Reggie, I saw somebody eyeing your stationery.
What? Oh dear. Thank you.
Just goes to show you never really see your hometown until you travel with a visitor.
Good afternoon. I'm Chairman Rockwell, and I'm here to address a serious issue facing us. As you all know, our colony has been successful beyond our wildest dreams.
Okay.
Unfortunately, we've recently discovered that our food supply will not be able to sustain Halcyon's population in the long term. Everyone will die.
What?
Everyone will slowly stop living from malnutrition. But we're doing it together, and that's what matters. I fucking swear, if someone doesn't give me something to read that will placate the masses soon, all of you will find yourselves violently unemployed. But I can assure you there's nothing to fear. We've got a solution. It's called the Lifetime Employment Program. We will freeze most of the colony to preserve resources, while the best and brightest of Byzantium continue living in prosperity. Look, you idiots! How many times do I have to tell you we can't say shit like that? Fire whoever wrote this! While Halcyon's brightest minds solve the problem of our nutritional shortage, the rest of the colony will be placed in suspended animation. Individuals will be revived on a rotating basis, so that every Halcyon can be part of the important work of saving our colony. By testing paperweights. Sorry, couldn't resist. Let's go again.
Made a fucking blooper.
And someday, in the not-too-distant future when we've solved this crisis, we'll all be back together again working for the good of Halcyon. Until then, the board shall provide for the deserving just as it always has. So, obey your supervisors, take your vitamins, follow your corporate-mandated grooming rituals, and rest assured with the board on your side, there is nothing to worry about.
How long does it take to find out you're in an abandoned office, toss Clark's belonging into the streets of Byzantium for all I care. I mean, he's not using them, just to get my office expansion done before I return. Let's take some to doom and gloom presentation we have to the brightest minds. First, reschedule my regular Wednesday massage. I have urgent matters to tend to off-site. Made inquiries, then confirmed that we have plenty of food, real food, stored away for inter-colony trade. Should profile of food produced within Halcyon as it continues to decline. Soon people are going to start feeling hungry no matter how much they eat. Fortunately, it's gotten too expensive to continue buying it from even the closest colonies from what we have. Heads of the other 9 corporations were up in arms about their shares again. As heads of UDL, we can overrule them easily, but I thought you should know they're at it again. Alright. So we got that sorted. Oh. Gonna be the tricky part. Okay. Load in here, we get out of the way, we're all sorted.
I think I'm gonna start taking my lunches out of the city. That woman from downstairs is still in the cafeteria.
That scientist? The one who's been hounding the clerks? Ooh, gives me the shudders, too.
Hmm.
Oh! Bring him down!
Don't hurt me!
That's not where I needed to go.
I think I'm gonna start taking my lunches out in the city. That woman from downstairs is still in the cafeteria.
Scientist? The
You
one who's
guys
been
are
hounding
insufferable.
the
Stop
clerks?
opening my
Ooh,
fucking
gives me
door.
the shudders.
He's AI, I swear.
UDL security. Oh,
Hey, did Tillman get transferred or something?
That's right. You weren't here when it happened. Designed all those wanted posters.
not so fast. The Ministry of...
It's okay. I'm a doctor.
I don't care if you're a brain surgeon. If you don't,
Worth a try.
like I said, I don't know how you got that, but I still don't know you.
May have to get violent soon with these guys. How's the space goes the space capitalisms today? It's going.
Sorry, I shouldn't talk, not without signing a waiver.
How are you doing, Irish? Pretty decent hay fever aside. Ah. As long as this guy moves out of the way, I'm in the clear.
What?
Tis the season for sneezing. As you can tell, I changed the font up for chat.
Let the record show that subject 23K's cause of death is cerebral.
Looking snazzy. Yeah, we went for a Vault, a Fallout New Vegas style.
Huh?
Well, yeah, still having PC issues.
Something's up. Take him down! What was that? No! I'm going in! No, please! I don't want to die! There, is everything all right?
Just to be honest, it's been like I've been having performance issues where I'll just start performing like crap, like it'll be stuttering or it'll freeze up completely. Like I was playing, say, War Thunder, and I had like a stream or a video open on the second monitor, and then it would start like stuttering to a point. Like sometimes it just freezes up my PC for a whole like 45 seconds, then it resumes. So I just can't fucking browse anything while playing anything. Shit like that. I don't know which is the problem. If it's the GPU, is it my RAM, is it something else? I'm tempted to reseat my GPU like between now. Reducing dimethyl zero will result in the cancellation experiment. Rockwell Charles Lifetime Employment Program. You revive human subjects from extended hibernation without causing death to the subject. Associated productivity inclusive. So yeah, PC's been stuttering stuff. I haven't been running Shadowplay anymore for the last week because I also had it. It's been whack to say the least. Going to that thing from underneath our noses.
If you have a message from
No one ever looks quite the same in person as they do in my reports. And my reports of you have been exceptionally thorough.
Let's skip the pleasantries.
You have something I want. Phineas Wells is wanted by the board. He has a litany of charges against him. Vandalism, illegal experimentation, sedition. I could go on. Wells is a dangerous madman. His plan is going to endanger everyone in Halcyon. He's an obsessive psychopath. And he's using you. You're in contact with Wells. I want... Wells was our mistake. We failed to apprehend him for years. I'm sending you my access code. Contact me from Wells's terminal.
Adjutant Akonde's call has been terminated.
Well, but yeah, PC's been having issues, been stuttering a lot, or it was been freezing up a lot. So I just, honestly, the last couple nights I've barely been playing anything. So I've just been sleeping instead, or just taking naps. There's not much I can do in the evening once it's gone. Ironically, the one thing, you know what the funniest thing? The one thing that doesn't fucking freeze my PC and I can stay in for hours without problem is if I just go in VR. Right? And the problem is, like, I want to play stuff that's not VR. That's my problem. I'm a person that's 90% of the time doing desktop stuff. 99% doing, we're gonna save here and make that, oh, in case he betrays me.
I've kept myself busy in your absence. All I need now... What? Oh, yes, well, that's obvious. Anyone with two working labs can see this colony slouching toward them. Why do you think we've been doing all this? Hold on. Let me see if I understand this correctly. You're saying that Halcyon's on the brink of total collapse? And the chairman's plan to save all of us is to save himself? I always knew Halcyon was heading toward a systems collapse, but I never imagined we were already there. The board made this crisis, and now they want to solve it by freezing the rest of us? That's not a plan. That's a goddamn escape clause. That makes two things we don't have. Time and None of this was supposed to happen. I was supposed to revive the Hope's colonists. We were supposed to have human test subjects. Oh, that's grotesque. That's unthinkable. That's exactly what I'd expect. Thank you. You've brought me enough chemicals to get started, at least. I'm just sorry those poor people, they must have died in agony.
Board's trying to mitigate damage to human tissue during the revival process.
You say the board's trying to freeze their subjects over and over again without inflicting permanent damage? Well, they're nowhere close to solving that problem. I'll tell you this much. The board scientists are hopelessly lost. After years of fruitless experimentation,
Let me guess, he was involved in it.
zero progress.
What makes you say that?
I used to work for these people. I'm intimately familiar with the utter incompetence of the board's own scientists. We're out of time. We're out of chemicals. We may very well be out of options. If the board has their way, we're all going to be spending the rest of our lives frozen in stasis. Do you realize what this means for the Hope? For your fellow colonists? The board's going to kill them all. Toss them out into space. Short of lining up every member of the board and shooting them. Do you know what's waiting for us on the Hope? Scientists, engineers, artists. The board's going to dispose of them all and transform the Hope into a prison for the rest of us. We need to get to those colonists before the board.
There's a way, it's not exact safe. We could skip the Hope into the system.
Merciful gibbering law, you're a genius! We bring the Hope to us. Skip the entire ship across the distance of colony space.
Hope's probably damaged. We'll have to route power from the Unreliable.
Yes, exactly. You're a step ahead of me, but I perceive the shape of your plan. If we link up the Hope to the Unreliable, then use your navigational computer to calculate a reasonably safe vector, we can skip the entire colony ship into the rings of Terra 2.
I don't know much about skip drives, not the physics anyhow. I do know the Hope's real massive. How's our...
Excellent question, my sharp-witted mechanic. You will use your own ship to power up the Hope's skip drive. Your
I've got a healthy disregard for personal safety, but this sounds crazy.
Your instincts are correct. By any reasonable definition of sanity, this plan is crazy. Isn't it wonderful? You'll need to switch on the Hope's auxiliary power using the Unreliable. Then head to the bridge. Your navigational computer, Ada, should be able to... Once you've skipped the Hope next to my lab, I'll have easy access. I know you're wondering why I'm doing all this. Why I believe the people on the Hope are the answer to the colony's problems. The Hope is carrying some of humanity's most brilliant thinkers. Scientists, engineers, experts in their field. If we work together, we can still find a way to save Halcyon. The board would have...
Oh yeah, fucking Noah's Smiling Friend episode was pretty good. I watched it yesterday.
If there's even the slightest chance we can save Halcyon from oblivion, then we have to take it. You absolutely should.
What?
The adjutant must have sent you some kind of tracking code. If you don't use the code, she'll suspect you betrayed her.
But what about you, though?
I think you should use the code and send a corrupted tracking signal.
Sure you're okay with this?
The enemy is bound to discover my hideout sooner or later. I'm prepared for that eventuality. This is just... use my communications terminal to corrupt the tracking signal. While the board busies themselves trying to decipher it, it wouldn't surprise me. When I pulled you out of the Hope, the board... Unlikely. The Hope is as massive as the Groundbreaker, but compared to the Rings of Terra 2, the board might notice, possibly.
So, sneak onto a lost colony ship and skip it across...
Okay.
That should do it. You've bought me more than enough time.
I think he should just come with me. How was your weekend, Irish?
Captain, you have a message from
I'm impressed, Captain. I almost Unfortunately, Dr. Wells found a way to corrupt the signal before we could pinpoint his location. Come visit me in Byzantium. We need to have a talk about the future of this colony. Meet me in my office. I've authorized...
Adjutant Akande has ended her call. Rather rudely, if I might.
Let's make another save. Should we go to the Hope or should we go to... Yeah, I'll go to her landing thing and see what she wants.
We are now in orbit above Byzantium, Captain.
It was pretty quiet as usual, hanging out with the usual VRC folks. Gotcha.
Not so fast.
I'm cleared to go through. Come
All right,
on.
you're clear. The adjutant's expecting me.
I was sad that there was no movie night this week.
I admit part of me expected you to stand by your old friend. That said, he's also a wanted criminal. I understand you've infiltrated the Ministry. The things you discussed. Halcyon is on the verge of a total. Malnutrition is already a problem. Disease will come next, followed by starvation, I know this must come as a surprise to you.
What's in this for you? There's gotta...
I appreciate your skepticism, Dr. Fenhill. But
Yeah,
I'm not
that's
doing this for any
understandable.
personal gain. My angle is the preservation of our colony by any means possible. Nothing more, and nothing less.
Is that why we were suffering plague in Edgewater? Malnutrition? All those folks sick and dying, and you...
Yes, Miss Holcomb, we knew why. We've known for some time that the colony itself is dying. I won't pretend the truth isn't damning. We need to talk about... Thanks to your meddling, Edgewater is without power. Operations have... Edgewater needs to go.
I get that you board types are all about efficiency.
I'm asking your captain to amputate...
You're a monster.
Someone has to be. Now is not the time for half measures. When you diverted power to the botanical lab, you spelled the end of Edgewater. With every passing day, Edgewater... Because right now, you're the only Halcyon is going to collapse. I'm not a... We don't have any other option. The colony is on the verge of collapse, and we no longer have the... Don't make this more difficult than it needs to be, Captain. Not true. You can choose to say, yes, ma'am, or at once.
I won't. Don't make me choose between you and Ed.
I'm glad you could... Edgewater is you were... You've been paying attention. I like you, Captain, but you're not worth that much paperwork. Report.
Not really worth. Time to reset this timeline. Anyway, back to the ship. I ain't wiping out all of Edgewater. Fuck am I gonna do that for, huh? I don't know why she's like, you're the only one I can trust. Lady, I've done one mission for
We
you.
have arrived at the Hope. I need you to reroute power from our ship to the Hope's auxiliary generator. You'll have to connect me to the Hope's comm system so I can convince her central computer to enable the skip drive. If your calculations are even slightly off, you could crash the entire colony ship or the sun. Sending a corrupted tracking signal to the board was quite clever.
Ugh. Part of me is all like wondering like what I should do PC wise.
Sneak onto a lost colony ship and skip it across the system? What could go wrong?
Like part of me is like, do I just grab some money I have from savings and stuff and put together a whole new PC? But other part of me is like, I should hold off until after like, you know, TwitchCon.
Let's hope we don't have to run in a hurry. Heads down. You gotta teach me that.
You know, when they posted us here, I told them there wasn't any point. So
I'll send to repair the reactors, doesn't explode and take the colony ship out. But
what? Explode? Holy shit. Alright. You'll want a uniform so my staff doesn't shoot you on sight. We've got a few extra in...
Got a promotion coming. I can feel it.
Huh? can't think of much worse than drooling on your pillow in front of a bunch of strangers.
Partially, part of me has just been like, do I go and get like PC parts that are like obviously get like a 7800X 3D or something like that. Wait, reload. I saved just a second ago.
So, sneak onto a lost colony ship and skip it across the system.
Error. Error. Paradox protection protocols have prevented me from registering. Error. Resetting actions.
Can you hear me, Captain? I have successfully integrated myself into the Hope's comm systems, and am attempting to establish contact with the Hope's more primitive processor now. Would you like me to play a mood-suitable music select? Should we...
But yeah, I was thinking something like a 7800X 3D, which maybe like, which will be a decent CPU overall for like gaming and stuff like that as I go on. It'll still be a decent one for like doing like, you know, renders and stuff with Adobe, not DaVinci Resolve and stuff. So I won't need too much. Anything else, everything like anything I can get will be like a massive power jump from a 2015 i7. So it'd be that, probably 2 sticks of 16 gig RAM or something like that. And then more than likely like a decent sized power supply.
Keep your shoulders up.
That's the Hope's computer up ahead. I'll admit, I am curious to wake him.
Once we switch that thing on, we can get out of here, right?
Greetings, Captain. I am speaking to you through the Hope... Are you sure? That is extreme... And also potentially kill an entire planet. Jump-starting the skip drive.
In case I don't get another chance to say...
Doing it. I mean, affirmative. Skipping the Hope in 3...
ADA. Does your captain seriously intend to do a micro jump in system with engines that haven't been powered in 70 years on a derelict ship?
That is what my captain intends, yes.
But that is a gross misuse of the skip drive. The Zero Point Drives Corp and I will not be held responsible for any damage incurred during transport, and this will cause extreme damage.
Yes, I am aware of that.
You should not be doing this. The humans will...
Thank you, Hope. It looks like all systems are go.
Now, where'd we end up?
good. We are still alive and have successfully skipped into Terra 2's orbit. I reported as much to Phineas Wells, but he has not responded. Perhaps you should check in on him.
I don't... Oh, hell. Of course. Don't make more paperwork for me, all right?
I could be in budget if I got some stuff. I could probably scrounge up enough to cover most of the costs.
Something's not... I'm just trying... Don't test me, right?
Captain, I am receiving a transmission from Captain.
Thank the law you warned me. I was able to get some defenses up, but they might not be enough. They're trying to get in here, and I'm not sure I can stop them. If they capture me, if we can't communicate with the board, all their lackeys, they're all a bunch of swine. You fucking pigs! I'll take you.
It would seem the recording captured some rather dire events. How can I... I request you do not wake me if I am sleeping. We've arrived at Phineas's orbital lab.
Okay. But yeah, I'm debating like 7800X3D. Have like a decent core CPU, either that or get like something like moderate, like a 4070 or something like that, or if needs be, just get like a 3060.
Nice and easy.
Incoming!
It's about fighters. Hello, Magnet. Yeah, I'd be down to do some fighters in a little bit. My PC was acting up a bit last night, so I didn't play anything at all, really. So apologies about that. It was acting up, so I took a nap for a bit. And then when I woke up, it was already like midnight. regeneration after long-term hibernation is really just a question of thermodynamics. I'm quite confident I can find a way to revive the Hope's colonists, if only corporate would authorize my request. I don't see why I need the permission of my employers to conduct experiments in the name of scientific assessment. Putin begged permission from his employers before discovering the 3 laws of motion. Okay. 13 seconds. Most of my subjects last 93 seconds on average before total cellular liquefaction reduced them to several gallons of organic soup 3 degrees above freezing temperature. Seconds of screaming, the subject was stronger than the others, but in the end the body failed to survive the survival process. 12 subjects died. I hope don't know how much more I can do in this. Strictly speaking, I do know. The Hope has hundreds of thousands of colonists. I've only experimented on 12. Many more experiments before I successfully revive the single subject. I always suspected this would happen. The board finally discovered what I'd done and sent their headhunters to track me down. But they'd never find me. Say I'm a murderer, and they're right. I am. I regret what I've done, but I'm not about to turn myself into the board. Not going to begging the board's forgiveness. But if you want to do, I don't know, fighters in an hour or so, Magnet, would you be down for that then?
You gotta teach me that.
Captain, as it appears we may soon be embarking, I believe the crew would like to...
Oh, I gotta give a speech.
Phineas, locked up in Tartarus? We cannot let this stand. That place terrifies even the most hardened criminal.
To extract the scientist, you will need to infiltrate the labyrinth. But that course of action... I am programmed to warn you whenever you exhibit inclinations toward risky behavior. Breaking into Tartarus...
Getting in is the simple part. It's getting out again.
Let's just do it. Kick down some doors, grab Doc Wells, and cut a path out.
If you really mean to do this, you should see to your final affairs and close...
It's the craziest plan I've ever heard. And I mean that as a compliment.
You didn't hire me to think. And I ain't about to start now. You're my boss. And I'll walk into fire with you.
I think it's insane. But maybe the colony needs a healthy dose of insanity right about now.
I know it's dangerous. And I won't lie and say I'm not scared out of my wits.
You're asking for more than bravery from us, Captain. But...
Let Sam get the grime out. It's what...
The entire plan is a terrible idea, but I admire your bravado, Captain.
We gonna prepare? Sure. Guess I...
The fewer folks we got to hurt, the better.
Sure, boss. You do the talking.
Alright, now I save the game. That's, I'm assuming after I do this magnet, it's like the end of the game, like the Hoover Dam segment of New Vegas. Saves made after this point can only finish the main story.
I am pleased to inform you that we have arrived at the labyrinth. Please be advised that the punishment for trespass... Please be advised that electrical storms on the surface of Tartarus make departure impossible. Resident count is as follows: 3,071. Resident deaths, including but not limited to executions, are as follows: 1,684. resident escapes are as follows. 0. The interior can be chilly. I would also ask that you leave your captain's ID with me. I can make the assurance that I will not leave with another captain unless you do not return within 876,541,652
Right? He's gonna be
hours.
like,
Oh, speak of the devil.
you ice.
Captain, I am receiving a
You seem
transmission
to
from
wish.
the prison's docking authority now.
Attention, unauthorized
They're gonna be
spacecraft.
like,
This is a maximum
I see
security
you try to
installation.
fight with words
presence
rather
here is an
than with
explicit
weapons. And I have to hit him with
violation
a
of
speech
corporate
check
policy.
100.
You are hereby confined to your docking platform until a ticket detailing your crimes has been filed. I wager it'll take a bit longer than it takes you to lose your patience and storm out of your ship. To be honest, that'd make my job a lot easier. Protocol is important. The sentencing of one crime does not preclude the sentencing of another. Tartarus Docking Authority signing up. Hang on. Looks like you're gonna have company at the execution. Wait, is that from the Groundbreaker? What the? Pay no mind to that. Just have a pleasant day.
Transmission. How can I be of a... I'll be here.
Time to fuck up the thing. Meanwhile, Ulysses is just muttering to himself, "Bear bull, bear bull, bear bull."
The captain did right by us once. Now it's our turn. The board will never own Groundbreaker. Not while I reign. Push on, Mardak. Here they come.
And I won't have any new battle scars.
Groundbreaker doesn't need trash.
This gun is so fucking strong. If I was to do this game again, I'd do the DLC first and just grab this gun early on. Just speed run the game. You know, I was thinking, Magnet, I kind of want to try out some characters like, what's it called? Dragon Ball Goku, Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, and some other characters, and maybe some more Videl.
Let's just hope we're able to get out again.
Definitely want to give some other characters a try, not with like the randomizer thing, but just like try them out in fights. Like you use whatever you like, and I'll try and mix up and try stuff.
There's gotta be a few ways through here.
Alright, left path it is. Thank God for stealth kills.
Sublight has arrived. Hey, kid. A little bird told me you could use our help. I said I owed you one, and I always pay my debt. We're not about to leave the president hung out to dry.
I might have come into this battle exactly like I did in New Vegas. Over leveled. To be fair, when I did this in New Vegas, I was nearly max level. Like, level. Whereas in this, I'm actually at the level cap. Well, what do you mean the red glare, Irish? Oh, that one. Did you kill Raul in the process? So, does it account for your companions dying in the ending?
I can take a hint. We're pretty good at this.
The Pit? I remember that Fallout 3 DLC. I think in order of games I want to do, just I'll, providing it doesn't, my PC is operational and working. What I want to do is probably this game, Kiwami 2 Silly Mod. By that I mean I'm probably doing a few sub-stories and main stuff. I'm not going to do the cabaret thing. What else would I want to do? Then we do, I think maybe we'll do Web of Shadows after that. And depending on what time of the month is, like if it's late August, then maybe I'll do one more game. Maybe I'll do Fallout 3. Because I kind of want to play Fallout 3 next.
All right, MSI. I'm not one for rousing speeches, but the captain needs our help. So,
Why? I like how they all just showed up to help me despite the fact I didn't even bother asking. It's not like I need them. Got spurs that jingle, jangle, jingle, jingle, jangle. There's probably a stealth route, but fuck it, we're guns blazing.
Incoming! Take him down!
Well, look who... I'll be damned. I had heard you'd taken a mechanic under your wing.
The captain's treated me right. better than any of you bored folk ever have.
Ah, and the wayward doctor. Are you about done with your escapade?
These days, I'm more interested in breaking them. Wouldn't mind taking a swing at yours.
When you go off and get yourself shot, try to avoid taking one to the face.
What's this announcement?
Haven't you heard? It took some doing, but employing an efficient management strategy of putting our guns to his head seemed... I've got work to do.
No, you don't. The fog is coming. I don't know why you'd mock someone that has no care for board security or anything like that. I'm just gonna kill you, bro. Like, it's as simple as that. Like, there's nothing stopping me from just shooting them.
Whatever comes of this, I'm just real glad to know you all.
Man stabbed.
Captain, you've been working with Dr. Wells from the beginning. When we moved to arrest him, he was prepared. You've disrupted the balance of power. You've upset the natural order of things. You've introduced uncertainty. I'm afraid, to your credit, Captain, you are one of the colony's finest specialists. For all your talents, you are the enemy of Halcyon.
And you're gonna do your duty or die trying. I get it. Let's move it along.
Dr. Wells is being held in my custody. His cooperation will prove invaluable, even if I have to beat it out of him. All that's left to do is put down this riot, arrest you.
Lady,
and
I've
get
killed
on with
everyone
the
on my
bloody
way
business
here.
of saving this colony.
Let's talk about this.
Fair enough.
All right, we're gonna hit her with the Fallout New Vegas Roman
Yes, I'm quite aware of your brazen act of corporate vandalism. My scientists assure me they can recover the data you've destroyed.
Scientists are lying to you. Their research is critically flawed.
That isn't true. It can't be.
Lady, I'm here to kill you. Why would I manipulate you?
That experiment was absolutely essential to the program. My scientists assured me they were close to a breakthrough. They gave me their word.
You know I'm right. I can see it in your eyes.
Damn you. You are telling the truth. We're going to have to start all over again. All that research, you were always an unknown variable. I tried to recruit. This prison is equipped with an automechanical warden. And don't worry, I will inform Dr.
Well, it didn't have the speech check, so I couldn't get her to, like, stand down.
You got nimble fingers,
What's
Captain.
this? What the fuck's this gonna do? Oh. Bruh. He's getting friendly fired. by the most basic of combat drones. That one combat drone's doing work. And dead. This is just like the Ulysses fight. Except apparently there was a way for the Ulysses fight to like talk to him, and then he says, "You know what, you're right, Courier, I'll join you." And then he just doesn't attack you. And he helps fight off the fucking ghouls, which is hilarious. Bro's whole purpose was to kill me and destroy the NCR.
Why won't you just die?
Lady, you died in one shot. That was pathetic. She died in a single shot.
You don't know how glad I am to see you. You did the right thing. Akande was a monster. Her death was much deserved and long overdue. And you lunatic, you broke into the board's own fortress just to rescue one doddering old man. You are absolutely out of your mind, and I can't begin to thank you enough. I'm all right, thanks to you. Akande wanted my cooperation. I'm quite sure she would have. You've broken the board's stranglehold on this colony, and you saved my life. But there's still so much we have yet to accomplish. You and I are going to have to work harder than ever to save Halcyon. I'm afraid the situation is far worse than any of us ever anticipated. Earth has gone dark. We haven't received a
Earth
single
is
message
dead.
in 3 years. There's been no communication.
That's because demons got on. Haven't you seen the documentary Doom Eternal?
The Earth's Directorate's frigate disappeared on their way back to Earth. We don't know what they discovered when they arrived, or if they arrived at all.
They found the Zatans.
They haven't exactly been hands-on around here anyway. So there's one less rubber stamp to worry about.
Earth is humanity's home planet, Miss Fenhill. The psychological effects of losing our original home will be devastating.
You mean we're all alone out here? Really alone?
I'm afraid so, Miss Holcomb. Halcyon is the only home we have left. Returning to Earth is no longer an option. We're in serious trouble, my friend. Do you know what this means for Halcyon? We can't rely on Earth for support anymore. We've been cut loose. We're entirely on our own. Yes. I don't know what happened, but something must have gone horribly wrong. I don't know why Earth's gone silent. I don't even know if Earth exists. We have no connection back to Earth. You might have heard of the Earth Directorate's frigate. Half the colony's entire military was on that ship. They were returning to Earth when they vanished without a trace. That was 2 years ago. We haven't heard a word from them since. Whatever happened to Earth... I wasn't trying to hide the truth from you, but after... Yes, I experimented on the Hope's colonists. Each of my experiments ended in catastrophic failure. Each of my subjects died in agony. You are my first and only success. I didn't tell you about the...
Your own bear? Bear bull, bear bull, bear bull.
Thank you. My apologies. I need to get a hold of myself. We've far more pressing issues to worry about right now. If you have any... Yes, Akande mentioned as... Akande had kept the truth to herself, perhaps with good reason. Can you imagine what would have happened? Yes, you were the one who reactivated that relay station, weren't you? Any message from Earth would have arrived unencrypted. It's been 3... The board tried using drones to contact Earth. Every one of those drones sent back the same encrypted... I heard it from Akande herself. She tried to pressure me into She was half right. We are alone. Yes, we do. You've done a marvelous thing. You've succeeded where anyone else would have failed, including me. We must begin the revival process immediately. Stop. We're going to need a leader, and I can't imagine a better person for the... When I revived you, I thought you were going to help me save this colony. I had our roles reversed, you see. You're the one who's going to save us all. I'm just the one who set you on your path. You're the best thing to ever happen to Halcyon. If you want to take it upon yourself to lead this colony... We're not a colony any longer, are we? Our last connection to Earth has been severed. Our future is uncertain, and no one knows what tomorrow...
So I gotta wonder.
The OSI teaches that everything in the universe happens according to the grand plan. But the stranger that arrived in Halcyon was an unplanned variable.
Okay.
From the moment he landed in Emerald Vale, his
So then,
actions altered
what's
the
the
course of
second?
history.
Okay, we're gonna
The
watch
events
the
on
trailer
top
for the second
brought
game.
about the end of the board's authority. But the board's mistakes would haunt the colony for decades to come. The damage they left behind would require the work of a generation to repair. Dr. Phineas Wells began reviving a handful of the Hope's colonists. Engineers, scientists, technicians, and intellectuals. They were among the brightest minds the Earth had ever sent out into the
So I
stars.
wonder if the second game's
The
gonna
Hope
be like a
scientists and
Fallout
engineers
2, where
woke
like
up in
you're
a
the
colony
grandson of the
descending
first
headlong
character
into total
from the
collapse.
first game.
With no way to return to Earth, they had no choice but to band together and devote themselves to the cause of saving Halcyon. The people of Halcyon were nothing if not hardy. In the absence of the board's authority, many of the colony's settlements banded together with a single purpose in mind: survival. Life was especially hard in the years to come. Some towns dissolved by attrition and starvation, but most of them found a way to carry on. In the years to come, Halcyon was forced to reckon with its newfound freedom. The board was gone, and for better or worse, the colony was responsible for its own destiny. Sanjar's civil liberties and worker-centric policies were slow to catch on with the other corporations. But as Halcyon began its long, arduous journey toward recovery, many of Terra 2's smaller townships started adopting MSI's alternative corporate structure.
Interesting.
And eventually became entirely self-sufficient. In the coming years, many of these townships managed to eke by, where otherwise they might have starved. Bolstered by her status as savior of humanity, Lilia Hagen ushered Sublight Salvage to a new golden age. Her company grew bolder and more transparent over time, muddying the line between lawful and criminal for the entire colony. The Sublight family would thrive.
All because I killed that one doctor.
The collapse of Edgewater left its workers bereft of any purpose in life. Most of them made their way to Adelaide McDevitt's camp, hoping to ingratiate themselves into her favor. Adelaide accepted only a few to her community. The rest were turned away and likely died of starvation. Nevertheless, Adelaide's camp grew into a well-established town. Adelaide McDevitt refused to cooperate with the ongoing effort to save Halcyon from collapse. A sympathetic deserter stole a copy of her research and delivered it to the Hope's scientists. It is unclear how useful Adelaide's research was.
Why did
An
she
optimistic
not help
estimate suggests her
anyone
work
try
may
and
have
save
brought
the thing?
Halcyon another few years of survival. Adelaide would never know. She
Lamau.
died that winter. Under the leadership of Junlei Tennyson, the Groundbreaker held firm against corporate influence. The ship's mechanical stability gave Junlei the time to educate a promising generation of engineers, schooled in her family's traditions. The future of the Groundbreaker looks promising. The rediscovery of the Hope and the abandonment of the Lifetime Employment Program forced Byzantium to come to terms with some uncomfortable realities about the state of Halcyon. While Byzantines were reluctant to surrender the luxuries they'd grown accustomed to, the board's diminished authority gave them little choice in the matter. Nearly everyone had to learn to make do with less. Some even had to get jobs. It was a dark
Some
time
had to get
indeed.
jobs.
Even the Gorgon asteroid, though a distant enigma to most of Halcyon, felt the aftershocks of your actions. The destroyed Adrenatime synthesizer became a symbol of the board's cruelty and a rallying point for Wells and his scientists as they sought to build a more humane, ethical Halcyon. They cleared the dead from Gorgon's laboratories and repurposed them to aid in the crucial work of solving the colony's nutrition crisis. Gorgon, which had once sown death and destruction across Halcyon, became a source of
Are you gonna
hope
talk
and
about
renewal.
Arianis next?
The Gorgon Project's final explosive end was bittersweet for Olivia Ambrose. She wandered the colony's fringes alone, searching for others like her who despised the board and meant to destroy them. In time, she found Phineas Wells and his
Meant to
cadre
destroy
of
the board. The
scientists,
board doesn't exist
and she
anymore. We
joined them in
killed
their
the
efforts
board.
to save Halcyon. For a while, she even knew an uneasy peace. But for all that, Olivia found purpose in Wells' project. She was always haunted by the memory of her daughter, Minnie, who hadn't lived to see the better
Yeah, that's
world
on me.
they
I
were
didn't put
building.
enough points into speech.
She never did forgive herself for the horror
I
her
really
work
should
had
have.
wrought on Halcyon. But she remembered fondly the daring captain.
Maybe if I didn't
put an
have,
end to it at
maybe if
last.
I had the Spacer's
In
Choice
spite of
edition that had the bigger level cap, maybe yeah, then I would have probably like the higher level cap probably would have been
potential for
been able to
progress and
get those
disaster
skills up.
in humanity's most ambitious efforts. The Rizzo's company in Halcyon dissolved after the collapse of the board. Needless to say, the launch of Spectrum Brown was indefinitely delayed. A stockpile of Spectrum Brown remains buried deep beneath the ruins of the old distillery, abandoned to time and attrition. With the dissolution of the board, Ruth Bellamy found herself without the two constants in her life: Byzantine culture and her sister Belinda. In the face of
Oh
this
yeah,
new
last
reality,
last stream was pretty fun. The
struggled
whole
to find a
crime
direction
thriller. I
for
got it
her
right
life.
though. I deduced
the
who did it.
colony had moved on
I was
from
right.
Halcyon Helen, and would
They call me a
require new
detective.
heroes in the years to come. And so Ruth Bellamy decided it was time to exit stage left. She quietly disappeared from public view. The dissolution of the board did not mean the dissolution of the ambitions of Cedric Kincannon, the charismatic leader of Sublight Underground. Cedric offered Slug's transportation services to the newly thawed colonists and set to work ferrying resources and food wherever they were most needed. For better or worse, Slug headgear became fashionable in the following years. As the board began to disintegrate, Spencer Woolrich found himself at a crossroads. Cling to what little stardom remained to him, or help usher Halcyon into its new future. To the surprise of many, perhaps himself most of all, Spencer chose the latter option. Having learned a variety of different skills in the many different roles played throughout his lengthy career, Spencer founded a radio serial dedicated to staying alive despite the odds. His subjects included how to survive violent encounters with only grazing wounds, dispense pithy one-liners for tense scenarios, and, of course, how to look good doing both. After a brief attempt at dating Helen as one person rather than two, which both Bertie and Helen found too strange, Bertie struck out on his own to try his hand at raising woolly cows. Many of his former Rangers teammates soon followed, accompanied by the woolly cow the team had originally plied with alcohol.
He became a dairy farmer.
The dairy farm thrived under Bertie's leadership and care. The Dairy Rangers privately believed that the woolly cows softened Bertie's temper considerably, although the only one brave enough to say this to his face was promptly headbutted. Due to the board's dissolution, many of the Prophet's old customers no longer found quite the same value in productivity seminars that they once had. With her business drying up, the Prophet chose to take her followers down a new path. Months later, salvagers on Eridanos found clues leading them to a seemingly abandoned bunker out in the wilderness. Inside, they discovered horribly mangled corpses, sacrificed to a blood-scrawled portrait of a sprat-headed deity. The Prophet was not among the bodies. Your influence shifted Ellie's perspective. She finally admitted, albeit grudgingly, that she just might need other
I can't
people.
wait for it to have only 3 characters have four characters plot growth, and the robot and the fucking one dude who I talked to like once has no character
She hired a
development.
small crew and flew supply missions to communities on the fringe. Some of them were even legal. Life in Halcyon was sobering for Felix Millstone. The grand revolution he dreamed of never came. There was no great awakening for the colony, no celebrations in the streets. There was only the hard, desperate work of trying to repair a broken colony. Felix never had a head for numbers, but if there was labor to be done, he was there to help. Eventually, Felix realized that the work of a revolution was done with 2 hands. As much as he enjoyed his adventures aboard the Unreliable, the vicar, known as Max, eventually decided that it was time to move on, to live out the life he had sought so long to create. He knew there were many in the colony who carried burdens much worse than the ones he had struggled with, and he devoted himself to easing their suffering wherever he could. He only ever took up arms again to defend the defenseless. Unshackled from a lifetime of striving and fighting the universe and himself, Vicar Maximilian de Soto was finally at peace. Once the matter with the Hope colonists was resolved, Junlei bashfully asked Parvati if she'd like to join her permanently on the Groundbreaker, and Parvati enthusiastically, if somewhat awkwardly, agreed. The stories of her adventures spread across the colony, and Parvati soon found herself the center of attention. Having served as the engineer of a renowned spacecraft, tramp freighters and wildcat miners sought her out by name, and in no time, she was a fixture in the Groundbreaker's mechanical ecosystem. She and Junlei were never far apart. Nyoka returned to Monarch to take another crack at making a permanent life for herself. She formed the Charon Group, an MSI subsidiary of ragtag survivalists and wilderness experts. Anyone in need of a guide, or just looking to throw back a beer and swap stories, could find her camping on the trail or clearing an infestation. The SAM unit that accompanied you spread awareness of the product line's superior sanitation and maintenance capabilities across what was left of the colony. This led to a boost in SAM unit sales. Did you know that SAM units are the longest-lasting,
This is
toughest
such a long
cleaning
epilogue.
solution in
Holy
Halcyon?
shit.
Minister Clark was released from house arrest, and his contact with you gave him a sense of renewed purpose and vigor. Once it became clear that no help would be coming from Earth, he threw his considerable efforts and talents into helping Halcyon manage the crisis before it. As for Dr. Phineas Wells, he spent his remaining years in his orbital lab. He eventually came to terms with his own past, and was able to forgive the mistakes of his younger self by devoting his remaining years to serving the colony. Dr. Wells was able to revive many more scientists and engineers than he first expected, thanks to the additional batch of chemicals you stole from the Ministry. Wells never forgot about the human lives that were lost in acquiring these chemicals. In the end, Dr. Wells was able to save every scientist and engineer aboard the Hope. Over the next decade, nearly all of the Hope's remaining
Look at
colonists
that. Does
were
everyone on
successfully
the
revived.
Hope have like
Halcyon
time
saw a
stop
period of
abilities
rapid
too?
technological and scientific advancement. Breakthroughs in dietary supplements saved the colony from starvation. Geoengineering projects and social reforms began to change the structure and character of the colony. Dr. Wells laid the groundwork for the project to save the colony, but he would never live to see the fruits of his labor. He passed away a few years later. His work was carried on by the scientists and engineers he revived. Today, Halcyon has stabilized. The people of the colony work hard to adapt to their new circumstances. Nearby colonies send aid and supplies. Life will never be easy in Halcyon, but for the first time in its history, there exists a sense of real, genuine hope about the future. And what about you, the unplanned variable in the history of Halcyon? Long after Wells passed away, you carried on his work with more energy, determination, and brilliance than he could ever muster. The years that followed were hard, but Halcyon survived by the efforts of the Hope's most promising colonists, the greatest of which was you. No one knows what's happened to Earth, and no one knows what the future has in store for Halcyon.
The same
All we
type
know
of
for
colonist
certain
as
is
Star
this:
Platinum, exactly.
the name of the Unreliable and that of its intrepid captain will remain the subject of countless stories for years to come.
Oh, there we go. Well, there goes that game. Okay. Now let me look up the fucking trailer for the second game then.
We begin by hearing an old, wise-sounding voice. And we see a quiet, peaceful setting. This will make our game seem big and important. Now, something must break the serenity. Will this creature be in the game? No. Say goodbye to it forever. Suddenly, and for no reason, people running. These pointless slow-motion shots make everything seem cool and should bolster pre-sale numbers. That wah sound can mean only one thing. We must gaze over an epic shot of a world, and there should be lens flares. Now we see our hero, but only their silhouette, because the developers haven't finished the design, or finished the story, or finished any gameplay that's actually ready to show. In fact, the only thing they have finished is the title.
Shame they didn't. Okay, I'm gonna be the first one to say it. Why didn't they call it Two Outer Two Worlds? Seriously, why wasn't it called Two Outer Two Worlds? This is literally a fucking... The way this trailer was done was like, what was it called? Oh, fucking... It's like the fucking literal Tobuscus trailers. The fuck... You know the ones, the Tobuscus... let me get the Assassin's Creed trailer. Yeah, y'all remember these fucking, like, the literal... It's the same energy, except he, like, sings it.
People say Rome wasn't built in a day.
Bloom transition.
The birds get the hell out of there.
Tobuscus channel died 2014. Outer Worlds trailer 2021. Welcome back, Tobuscus.
This is my third time attempting.
I didn't click that video. I clicked something else. I clicked Avowed. Well, what is Avowed? Oh, Peak! Peak game! Oh, he's fucked. Well, what has he got in his hand? He got a fucking revolver. Yeah, he's screwed. That's 2 Cazadors about to jump him. Unless he's got the spineless perk where he's not gonna get poisoned. Bro, they made their own MCU ass fucking like trailer. Wait, now that I think about it, I want to go back. Was fucking Star Wars in there? No, that's not Star Wars. They just skipped over. Wait, hang on. Obsidian. Let me look at their games. Games they've worked on. Neverwinter Nights. Knights of the Old Republic was their first game. Alpha Protocol, New Vegas. Stick of Truth. What? Wait, Armored Warfare? What do you mean they made Armored Warfare? What? What? Okay, never mind. They worked partly on it. Okay, but like... there's a ton of these games. They only mentioned like 2 of them. Like this game is clearly meant to be fucking Grounded. The fucking the bug game. That's New Vegas. I'm guessing, is this Neverwinter Nights or something? That's Outer Worlds, I believe. They really just ignored one of their They really ignored some of their best games. Who's the dev of this game? I know Interplay. They really ignored like Knights of the Republic too. What the fuck? What is this? Didn't this game get an indefinitely like? Isn't this game also in development hell?
People don't like you very much, do they?
Fishman.
Sent here to the living lands by an emperor who couldn't bother to come himself.
Yeah, that's true. But why are they not proud of Alpha Protocol? What's wrong with that game? Still, it's weird though. Maybe they're only allowed stuff that was published by them, and because they're still under Microsoft.
But the truth is, you scare us.
Alpha Protocol was interesting, to say the least.
The way you fight, the power you wield, the secrets you keep. You're either here to save us or destroy us.
Well, worth the price of free. Oh, did you play it when like it was taken off of everything, so it was just lost media?
So now that you have all this power, what are you gonna do with it?
Is it though? When was this? This is a year ago.
Play it day one with Game Pass.
2021. I guaranteed that this game is going to have like
What are you gonna do?
fire dialogue and great conversation. It's gonna have the worst gameplay. Is it me or does like the way the models look more like Fallout 4, 76 and like Elder Scrolls Online-ish? Am I the only one that sees that? Like, I kind of like there's a kind of weird saturation with some of the stuff. But it looks somewhat interesting, like... Yeah, it does look very over... Like, the color palette. You see what I mean? It looks very oversaturated here. I think my best example of when I saw it was like the panning shot here. Like, look how much that just does not fit the contrast. Right? This you see what I mean, Magnet? It feels like Elder Scrolls Online. Hey, let me pull. At least Elder Scrolls Online has like a Kingdoms of Amalur levels of contrast. Let's pull up Elder Scrolls Online. Alright, let's pull up. I take it back. Elder Scrolls Online does not look too bad. Like, visually. Like, I'm not a fan. Wait, I'm sorry. Hold on. Does Elder Scrolls Online have... Is it 3? Okay, the top one's... Wait, explain to me this UI. So, you have your health bar up top. You got the boss's health bar. You've got your health bar down here. You got your magic stamina. Why is it so spaced out? Why are there repeated UI stuff? Why is you a health bar at the top of your screen, but then you put it on top of the enemy too? What? Like, it can't be a case of, oh, in case you're not looking at the enemy. If you're not looking at the enemy anyways, you can't see the health bar at all. This is so weird. Yeah, no, I'm never getting into that game. Doesn't this game have a subscription? When's the Xbox Showcase 2024? What is it? June 9th, huh? So June 9th. Alright, when's the PlayStation Showcase? May 29th. That's tomorrow. Wait, so you're telling me that they're not even going to... What are they gonna announce? Wait, what? Celebrate player activities, bonus game catalog, PS2 titles. Oh, that's right. I forgot. They don't do just backwards compatible. They do. They do fucking select games. Roblox is on Xbox, not Xbox, on PlayStation now. PSVR games. Huh. Tomb Raider Legends, Sly Cooper. Star Wars The Clone Wars. I have that game. I could literally go into my old room real quick and get that game in like 10 seconds. I can go find it. I thought that was Homelander for half a second. Okay, what time tomorrow is the showcase on? It's May 29th at 12:01 a.m. through June. All right, let's see. DLC, Destiny 2 shit, Silent Hill be interesting. Sonic X. I just want to know what fucking time it's on. Let's see. June 9th, so I can probably be on after D&D now that I think about it. I can always watch it after that. Early next week. If it's on tomorrow, we'll watch it. All right. So Magnet, you down to fighters? Let me uninstall the Outer Worlds real quick, because we're done. We're finito. We outed the world. Hang on, let me pull out my controller from under my desk. You know, at this stage, they should really just bring back the raid fights, but make them, like, permanent. By that, I mean just be able to select them at will and just play them. I don't know if, like, Lythero's group, whenever they record stuff, they just wait for the one time of the month it happens and then just change the values themselves. Or what's it, but... There we go. I don't know if that's the case, what they do. Alright, give me a sec. Whenever the game decides to pull up. Also, I love that this the thing is like, Dragon Ball game. 3 titles are finally available on Steam in Japan. It's games that have been out for like a long time. And Fighters is taking a schminute to start up. Any year now, Dragon Ball Fighters. Any moment. Any year. There we go. All right. God, flashbang. Hell, let me call you real quick, Magnet. What? Did it tab me out again? What's going on? Are we good? Let me call you real quick, Magnet. Hello.
Lobby 20.
Lobby 20, gotcha. Alright, let's see. I didn't expect to, like, if it just would take less than an hour. I think I spent more time sitting in that cutscene magnet where it was yapping at me, telling me, oh, here's everything you did. I'm like, I swear, I like, cleared that last mission faster than it did, like, it was so funny. They were like, oh, hey, we're here to help you. I'm like, bro, you guys don't need to. I, like, one-shot everyone. I got this minigun that every bullet does a different status effect. Plus, I got the upgrade that maxes it out.
Still love how like the giant robot, like it got destroyed by most of the regular
Like,
security
drones.
drones.
The lowest security drones that the average guy could kill. Like, 4 of them was enough to destroy him. It was so funny.
That reminds me so much of like a Fallout 2 when you can convince the Enclave people to fight Frank.
Now, see, that one's necessary because Frank's a monster.
Yeah.
Alright, what's the password?
1 1 1 1 1 and 1.
There we go. Alright, where's the class? I was just mixing up random stuff. Alright, let's try out some people. Where is... Oh, not you. I was rewatching some Life Arrow stuff recently. I think it was the one where they were doing the raid, one where it was supposed to be Vidal's raid, but it ended up just being Sonic stuff.
Yeah.
It was fucking funny. Just is like, I'm here to fight you. It's like Goku.
Goku.
Heard you're pretty strong, Eggman. Bum 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 bum. Doon.
Goku will be the one that arrive at like any kids that beats cancer and be like, I heard you beat cancer. You must be really
pretty strong. That reminds me of a thing I saw. It was a video where it's a girl's like, you're so strong for beating up with him, and it's like you hear knocking the door like, how strong? Goku's just there, teleports into her house. They're running away from him. He's teleported, and they turn back, and he just starts fighting the girl, and they're just doing a fight rush. Let's see if I can find it later. It's pretty good. That is not the outfit I chose from.
Yeah, piss
Goku.
Piss. I think because like I have classic Goku, so like that's why the color.
Oh, that's probably it.
I still don't get why they make it when they don't have dodgeball.
I did not mean to do that. Fuck. Wait, what? Did I not just do a guard break move?
I think it get countered by like a
ah, damn. Fucking Chaozu!
Chaozu! Give your opponent like a stomach ring.
Spirit bomb. Why did you jump in? Oh, he's doing it too!
I'm doing it too! Ah! That didn't do jack. Go, Vegeta!
I just love that you Kaioken'd into it. The one attack that doesn't work. Vidal, it's all on you. Save the future.
Disruptive disc.
Damn. God damn! He crushed her. She's dead.
And then Pan was no more. GT never happened.
GT never happened, thank God.
Thank God.
Speaking of GT, hold on, let me switch up a character. Not Goku. Where is he? That makes me wonder, do you think we're gonna get GT Goku in Sparking?
Seeing how big the roster is, probably.
I'm assuming we're gonna get at least some of like the more, like we're probably gonna get Janemba. We're gonna get Janemba, OG Broly. We'll probably get Mr. Satan.
We're gonna get a pool.
A pool? My God.
Oh. Just kick Gogeta.
You learned. Just that's technically what happened to. Actual lore accurate Dragon Ball fight. Damn.
Damn. The herb did not
Damn, not here.
Where's that damn 4K on that?
Maria, no.
I want this to work. It worked!
Fucking Chaozu.
Chaozu is dead! It barely do any damage because it's not a raw rebel.
Where was Tien during the fucking baby Vegeta saga?
Did Tien ever appear in GT? I
don't know what I just did there.
You show your dominance.
Apparently.
I know.
What? That didn't hit?
Because I recovered.
God damn.
Oh, no, I'm dying. Please help.
God damn.
Yeah, should use like a
Kiko Ho.
Send like a cell or like a freaking super glue to the center of the earth. Just keep using Kiko.
It's funny just how much, like, just how different the art style was for like early Z versus the rest of it. Like fucking early Goku, early Vegeta looks so goofy. It's like goofy, like his hairline was worse.
His hairline was like red or something. With like a weird color scheme.
No, I don't mean like the color. I mean just the way he's designed. Like he had even more like receding hairline.
Oh really?
All right, then let's get in the goat.
Oh, I know is that like the early like animation is always drawn, so like most of the stuff like it's just probably gone.
Also, I think my favorite art style for Dragon Ball is probably like the Frieza saga. Cause it still it was that in between like designs about like early Dragon Ball, but also like end of like the original Dragon Ball anime, and like it before the Cell Saga stuff. So it had that nice art style.
Damn, Goku can be smart.
Vegeta's not used to it, he's too short. Oh, friend.
What?